It's a bird, it's a plane, it's Mr. Clintastik. And Zendikar Rising spoilers are finally here. So without further ado, we're going to discuss a few of the major cards and some of the mechanics. So let's jump right in. So first, I want to talk about Nissa of Shadowed Boughs, a 4-drop Gorgari card, Nissa Planeswalker with the passive ability Landfall. So Landfall is going to be in the set. Plenty of people already figured that with Zendikar being on the horizon. Whenever a land ETBs under your control, put a loyalty counter on Nissa of Shadowed Boughs. +1, untap target land you control. You may have it become a 3/3 elemental creature with haste and menace until end of turn. I think that menace is pretty fire. It's still a land. You can neg 5, she comes out at 4. You may put a creature with converted mana cost less than or equal to the number of lands you control onto the battlefield from your hand or graveyard with 2 1/1 counters on it. I think that's really, really powerful all around. From the fact that this card is only a 4-drop green-black card, green easily gets to play mana. I think that's excellent. Whenever you play land or whenever land comes into play, landfall triggers, you put extra counters on your Nissa. Not only does she have a plus, but she has an alternative way to plus, which I think is really cool. The land has haste and menace. Now, unlike Nissa, I think Shaker of the Worlds or the last one that came out, the land does not stay a creature, but that makes it so that it's not as vulnerable to being removed either. So I think this is gonna get some play. Just my initial impression. Somebody's gonna try to make that happen. Let's see, what do we have next? Next, we're gonna talk about Drana, the Last Blood Chief, a 5-drop black card, 2 black, 3 generic vampire cleric with flying. Whenever Drana, the Last Blood Chief, attacks, defending player chooses a non-legendary creature card in your graveyard. You return that card to the battlefield with a 1/1 counter on it. The creature is a vampire in addition to its other types. This card is interesting. Um, I don't think it's for standard. I'm guessing it's more for a commander like situation. Or maybe you could set yourself up where you only have like super powerful things in your graveyard, but I don't know. That seems kind of, I mean, I could be wrong, but it seems kind of difficult to pull off. It's a 4/4/5/5. I mean, it's a 5-drop 4/4 with flying, essentially. I'm not feeling it. It doesn't come into play and necessarily do anything. It has to attack. That's risky. That's risky. Next, we have Tazri, Beacon of Unity, a 5-drop, 4 generic, 1 white legendary creature, human warrior. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature in your party. So party is a mechanic or a ability where if you have a certain set of creatures or creature types in your on the field, you get to trigger things if that comes up. So it says you can pay 2 generic or blue, 2 generic or black, 2 generic or red, 2 generic or green. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal up to 2 cleric, rogue, warrior, wizard, and or ally cards from among them and put them into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. A 4/6. To me, this seems just like what it is, a 5-drop 4/6, a mythic. It costs 1 less for each creature in your party, so I'm guessing a party consists of cleric, rogue, warrior, wizard, and or ally. We'll get to that soon enough. I'll have more understanding of what the party is. So this is just the first day of spoilers, and these are just the mythics that I'm coming across. Next, this is the one card I am excited about, Omnath Locus of Creation. It's a 4-drop, red, green, white, blue. Only thing it doesn't have black in it. Elemental, when Omnath Locus of Creation ETBs, draw a card. Simple. Simple. I don't need much. I enjoy simplicity. When Omnath ETBs, I get to draw a card, and it also has landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 4 life. If this is the first time this ability has resolved this turn, that's what happens. If it's the second time, you add 4 mana of red, green, white, and blue to your mana pool. That's awesome. So, first time you put a land in the battlefield, you gain 4 life. Second time, you get 4 extra mana. So if you played whatever mana, you're up to 5 extra mana. The third time, deals 4 damage to each opponent and each planeswalker you don't control. This card is something I'm excited about. I think it looks excellent, especially in comparison to the other mythics that have shown up. I feel like Omnath might actually see some standard play. I'm not exactly sure on what's going on with these sorcery lands, I should call them, or spell lands. But from what I understand, let's take Valakut's Awakening for instance. You can either put this into play as a red mana, or you can cast it as its spell. 1 red, 2 generic, instant. Put any number of cards from your hand onto the bottom of your library, then draw that many cards plus 1. So I think that's an interesting concept. I think that's how it works with all of these kind of I don't know what the mechanic's going to be called at this point, but there's multiple cards that have shown up. Like these lands here, you can put this into play. These pathways, this one comes into play as a white land, or you can have it come into play as a green land. So it's not necessarily a dual land, but it's still an interesting way to do it. And it's interesting to have that attached to spells as well. So maybe you won't have so much mana screw. You're like, okay, I don't necessarily need the land now. I need this spell, or well, I really need this land. I'm glad instead of getting the spell, I can use it as a land as well. So I don't know. Once again, I don't know what that ability is called yet, but I found that to be really interesting and exciting. Other than that, I'm just gonna wait and see what else is to come. Not too many just standout cards in my opinion. So far, the main one I'm excited for is Omnath. But let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you excited about Zendikar Rising? I think this will be a great limited set for sure. We're gonna have way less cards in the card pool due to cards rotating this season, so that is to be considered. And we have a lot more cards to come, so I'm gonna hold my judgment on the set to the end. But right now, there's only a couple things I'm really excited about. So once again, let me know in the comment section below what you're excited to see, and what are your initial thoughts on Zendikar Rising. I appreciate it, and this has been Mr. Clintastik signing out.